All right, welcome back. It is Wednesday, March 27, 2024. Just got back, picked up this drive shaft. I had it made locally, a place over on the east side. So this is a really nice looking piece. Seems quality. I guess we'll find out long term. So this is a yoke for a 6L80 32 spline transmission yoke, or tail shaft yoke, whatever you want to call it. And we did measurements. I provide the measurements for the driveline shop. 24.5 inches from the seal of the transmission to this bolt hole. 24.5 inches. And then we got a 2-inch slip, and from this bolt hole to the face of the rear end yoke, 40 inches. 40 inches. So with that collapsed, it's 39. With it expanded, I believe it's 41. Also got these U-bolts. That 4.9 inch uses 1330 U-joints. So solid bearing I got from Toro Hydraulics. Got it off eBay, I believe. Solid carrier bearing, all billet. They painted it black whenever they painted the transmission. So we're gonna see if this thing stabs in. It should. Hopefully, should fall right in place if our measurements are right. I see they did a little bit of balancing. So we'll see. Hopefully this thing falls right in place, no issues. That's what I paid for. So I think I'll get you guys set up under the car maybe with the camera and see what happens. All right, here we are the next day, part 2, take 2. 2.0. I tried to stab this thing in yesterday after cut the video off, and it did fit. It did fit, but the U-joint was the wrong one to go on the rear end yoke. I don't know if it was a miscommunication. Well, that's exactly what it was, a miscommunication. I don't know if they didn't tell me where to measure or if I measured incorrectly. But anyways, it was a 1330 U-joint, and the rear end hopefully is a 1310. So I had to take it back, and I could have changed it myself, but that's not what I paid for. I paid for, to have it done professionally. So this is a conversion U-joint from 1330 to 1310, and it should fit the rear end yoke. Other than that, it did fall in place pretty easily. So I'm going to give it another go right now. It's Thursday afternoon. Hopefully this thing will stab in there within 30 minutes. So I'll bring you guys back, see what happens. All right, so we're under here, and I don't know if the light's going to show very good, but got it in, and this time it went in just as it should. Was able to jam it in. It's kind of awkward under here, but jammed it all the way in to the transmission. Butted up against the seal nice and tight. Got it locked in with the solid bearing, and I used some grade 8 bolts with some thread lock washers and some thread lockers, so they ain't falling out. That's the amount of slip at ride height, which I would say is a little more than an inch, which is great. And then it locks into the rear end. Pretty simple. I got the U-bolts from them also. And this time it fell right in place. So once this bearing is locked in, then you just pull the slip out to the rear end. It's a hell of a lot easier to install a drive shaft when it has a slip. When it doesn't have a slip, you gotta mess with the ride height of the frame versus the rear end to get the thing to line up. So that's my experience with it. Anyways, got the U-bolts on. Yeah, I got some lock washers on that and a little bit of thread locker as well. So I think that's going to wrap up this quick little video here. I'm kind of opting maybe to go with the straps instead of the U-bolts. I don't know, maybe some people leave some feedback. I've never ran the straps. I've never had a problem with U-bolts, but I'm liking it. It's not looking like it's in a bind or anything like that. I did spin it before I locked it into the rear end with the car in neutral to make sure it doesn't hit anything, and I think we're in the clear. So it's going to wrap up this little quick video here of the drive shaft. Anyone curious on what this costs, you can go on eBay and look up the 3-piece or whatever drive shaft from Performance Driveline, and it was comparable to that price. but it was local, so no shipping. They did swap out the U-joint over here for free of charge, which was kind of the reason why I wanted to go local. That way, if I had an issue, I'd take it right back to them. That's exactly what I did, and they took care of me. So shout out to Randy's over there on northeast side Houston. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Y'all stay tuned for more work.